Real Life Street Stars. Everybody put your fives in the air, man. Put your fives in the air, man. Long live J-Dub, man. Real Life Street Stars, we are in the building, man. We got chopsticks, and we got a whole bunch of Channel 5 going on, and we got some important people here. We're gonna go down the line and discuss that as far as who of importance is here. But we do have chopsticks in the building as an artist, and a couple of other artists here as well. First and foremost, introduce yourself, and then we're gonna go down the line and just find out who's in the building. But go ahead, introduce yourself. Hey, man. And we met a while back, man. When we came out to the funk, man, and R.I.P. KT the third, man. We met back at his birthday party. You know what I'm saying? And that was at a time where Fort Worth was really kind of getting that name for itself. Yeah, it's just like, shit would start bubbling, you know what I'm saying? And you was in the mix back then. Hustle.
Full hustle.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
They know about the music and everything.
Yeah.
So, again, tell them where you from, and then we're going to go down the line as far as just who's all here with you.
I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, all around, so I'm just going to say I'm from Fort Worth, you know what I'm saying?
There you go. You brought somebody special with you, man.
Let's talk about it, man.
Go ahead, man. Let's start this up, man. This is J-Dub's mama right here, man. It's Channel 5 J-Dub's mama right here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm J-Dub's mother.
Yes.
I'm from Fort Worth.
There you go. And what do you go by?
My name, I go by Blackie.
Blackie, I love it. I love it. And thank you for, even though Greg Abbott said, we could, it's good for, y'all came prepared either way. And we got some more people here. If you want to either pass the mic around, if any of y'all want to introduce the people who don't want to speak, or.
My name Quan, I'm J-Dub's little brother.
Man, blessings. Blessings.
I'm J-Dub, ain't it?
Blessings.
I'm Cam, I'm J-Dub, little brother.
Hey, man.
You look like twin.
Hey, for real.
Hey, my name Tate. I'm J-Dub big cousin.
Yeah. Pass it back around. Yeah, watch the wire.
Get up today.
I'm Kobe. I'm his little big cousin.
Yeah, little big cousin. Yeah.
He's strong as hell. He was the whole couch.
He said, y'all see me.
This tall.
He said, yeah, y'all see me.
And I'm from Fort Worth, but I'm from Stop 6. Long live J-Dub.
Man, there you go, man. Man, and let's do it like this, man. First and foremost, once again, RP J-Dub, I respect, y'all keeping the name alive. Y'all are here. Y'all representing. Y'all got the channel 5s, on the shirts.
You just had a birthday for J-Dub not too long ago, right? What date? Can we put the date out there? Is that going to be an annual type of thing? And if so, what date is the date for the J-Dub?
It's February 5th.
February 5th. Damn,
Yes.
My son's February 16th. That's great.
There you go.
February babies. That's what's up.
Nah, for real. I think was it snowing over there?
No. No, we February the February the 5th.
Big old party. There you go, man.
February the 5th is his birthday. 25th is his passing. It's made a year.
Yes.
And coming up on the 14th, it really make a year that we laid him to rest.
Definitely, man. And it's a crazy thing because, at a time we never when we met J-Dub, we never heard of him. We never heard of the movement. We heard of him, but we hadn't got a chance to actually, get really into the music. And then, of course, the very next day after we met him, his career just went crazy. And he's everywhere. And just the potential of what he had and what was going, man. It was all stopped and cut short. But y'all are here today, in his memory and his light. And I definitely want to take time for y'all to, just even speak on his legacy, as far as, being his son and being, his family, of what he meant for y'all beyond the music, just really personally and just around the, around the crib, around, auntie house and everything like that. Josh, you laugh.
To me, it's funny because, like I said, I didn't really know the J-Dub song. Like I said, you got to know the Javian Smooth. That was his nickname, Smooth. Come from my great aunts. They named him Smooth. And like I say, I seen it in him as growing up Jabin was just, him and I have an oldest daughter. He was just the agitated of the family. Like I never seen the rapping career in him till he got to the 5th grade. And him and a few guys did a dedication, which I have posted on my page. It was a dedication to all the mothers. And he rapped about, the having mothers, having his bad, making it through life. And like I say, it really still didn't hit me till, like I say, one day Jabin was in high school and I went up to Eastern Hills and I'm asking them about Jabin and everybody, the teacher, principal, you said J-Dub? I don't know no J-Dub. They're like, yeah, his name J-Dub. I was like, y'all sure J-Dub? But the man was like, yeah, Jabin Wright. I said, yeah, that's Jabin Wright. I don't know about J-Dub, so it took me by surprise to even know he had a name out here in the streets at an early age.
Did you ever call him J-Dub?
It's now as about right before he passed. Yeah, but it was always so Jabin smooth. That's what he come up on. That's why I tell people I tell people, a lot of people judge him off the street life of J-Dub. But if you was around before, you would really know the Jabin.
Give us an insight on that. Like, what was his day-to-day personality like? He seemed like a real cool.
Jabin, like basketball, football, help him in sports, gang system. If y'all don't know, that's my twin sister.
Yeah.
My 6 is hers.
Yeah.
Jabin was hers.
Yeah.
That's his godmama. Like, them was his. But, I mean, he was all around a good kid, a funny kid. I'm talking about a loving kid.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just like outgoing. Yes, old school soul. You have to know him because he loved the blues and he loved Betty Wright.
Man.
To be a young kid, he was into that.
So let's do it like this, because and I definitely know y'all could touch on this. And Chop, you could probably speak on it as well. While you're in the house, you belong to the family. But when you get outside them doors, it's a whole different world out there. And Fort Worth is just known for, in recent times, it's just known for a certain element to it. Mm-hmm. And Chop, as you said, you from all you all around Fort Worth, so you kind of know the history. For those that's outside of this city and don't know the Fort Worth and what it's like a day to day, tell them what it is like for what y'all feel Fort Worth is. What I'm saying, as far as outside the house, outside in the streets and things like that.
As far as the music or as far as...
Nah, just the day-to-day, just moving around, just going outside and just being out there.
I feel like for the most part, people just sit up on Facebook and Instagram and just wait on something to pop off, and then something happen. Oh, we popping out, we going to the hideout, we going to do this. Everybody doing the same thing other than those people that's trying to achieve stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not them people that just sitting there just waiting on the dream to come. Yeah, I'm going to make it.
One upon a time, Fort Worth was a fun city to pull up in. We had some good days.
Yeah.
It's always been labeled as murder work, but coming to Fort Worth, if you grew up, like I say, we grew up in the hood. We grew up Eastwood.
Yeah.
It was so funny for me to come out of Eastwood, and Jabin claimed Stop 6, never like, and then his dad is Southside. Yeah. So it's weird when people say, how he just come up with Stop 6 J-Dub, and it's like mom, her, dad, her. I was like, hey, he went to school over there. He even told me himself how he got his name. And the little, exercise, and he shocked me because I'm just like, Jabin, at that time, you sneaky, how you get these little names and stuff? Yeah. And it's weird because a lot of people do ask me that or ask his dad that, like, Eastwood, Southside, how did he didn't go with either side? Me, I would never wanted him to choose a side. I just wanted him to be a kid and live life.
What would you say is the biggest difference from when you were growing up to now in Fort Worth?
Dog, for real.
The internet. Social media. Because me growing up, we grew up where we couldn't sit around grown folks. You go out that door, you out that door. We grew up like on teddy ball, hopscotch, nigger knock, hide and seek. Now, we didn't have no phones. We had Atari, but back when we was growing up, kids like to go outside and, play games. We had that to me, social media have just ripped the kids apart.
And on the flip side of that, you said the internet, huh? That's what's new. So how do you feel the internet, and even even you seeing from the past, and now how do you feel the internet plays a part into just the day-to-day lives of the young kids out here, and the adults too? Shit,
Yeah, but these kids, they don't even know what outside is. They won't even go out and play no more. The internet, the phones, they have took over. Kids, to me, I just say kids really don't know what it's like to be a kid with the internet. I'm just for real. COVID has swept. Like I said, I had a daughter that graduated last year, and they didn't outdoor graduation, didn't have a prom. Like I say, a lot of kids won't get the experience what a real high school was. High school cut off in March, A lot of kids, like I said, back in our day, we was going to the ballroom. We had, what I'm saying, we had those kiddie clubs in Fort Worth. I'm just saying, today, these kids, so many boys and girls clubs.
Them out now, the Butler and the Starz, they gone.
The kids don't have nothing to look forward to. As we was growing up, just say we had something to look forward to like now. We used to be kids where my grandmama lived on the street. We was able to walk to the recreation centers. Kids don't get to do that no more. We was able to walk to the park without a care in the world. Now when your kids walk to the park, you got to worry if they gonna come back home. It's just going out the door. And some of them just go out the door and don't even come back home.
Now, I do want to ask, because like you said, the internet, since his passing, you've had a lot of people with admiration. You've had a lot of people saying, crazy things about him after his death. But do you see those type of things, and how do you respond to those type of things?
I don't have Instagram. I don't respond. Like, I hear stuff, but I don't respond. My best, like I tell everybody, my best revenge is just killing with quietness. Like, I don't respond, but like I say, my day will come when I get my judgment.
Is J-Dub's case still open?
Yes, it is very much open.
Yeah. As far as that day, even for you, B. Did you get a chance to speak with him the day of, or was he already at the house doing some other stuff?
I was celebrating my other son. I have another son. Javen's birthday is February the 5th, and my other son's is February the 23rd. And we was giving him both of them a birthday dinner at first. I was able to speak to my son. We all sat together, ate cake, hung out for about 3-4 hours. He must have left after first about right at 10 with my twin sister. She was his last car ride, the last person to see him besides me, my aunt, my mom, him. I'm saying about 10 o'clock was my last, spoke the words, I love you, and got the phone call the next morning.
Really?
That was our last everything.
Yeah, say that one more time.
Oh, that was our last I love you. A hug was at first before he had left.
Man, and it's so important just to, for you to get that in, because again, you could not have gotten that in, and they would not know how you felt and things like that.
Yeah.
Even for you after getting the news, if you would like, take us through as far as just, not only just how that affected you right then, but also the days leading up. As you said, it took a while, to lay in the rest and things like that, and just everything that was swirling around it. Because again, your son, he was such a name that it's like I know your phone, I know everybody's calling, everyone's talking. But for you, when it's the quiet time, how was it for you?
It was hard because I had to battle this for 5 days. He got shot that Monday. He was breathing 5%. My sister stayed with him through the night, and I got a phone call Tuesday morning about 9 and said that he could tell from the swelling in his brain that he probably was brain dead, but they wouldn't know until they performed a brain test.
Take your time, please.
Take your time, Mama, don't cry.
Please. And, I say it because I personally went through the same thing. I had a nephew that got shot at an Airbnb in Allen a year ago, 16 years old, and I went through the same thing, and sitting and waiting and not knowing, and you're hoping for the best. You're praying, and everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a real reason. So you just got to accept things and kind of move on. But definitely, just being able to share that moment. Those are things that the internet don't know and they don't get to see, and for you to be a face of that is definitely important. But I do want to touch on his music too. Were you a fan of his music?
I'm too. My son was.
We tell him cut it off.
Now he was.
Cut that shit.
No, I don't listen to rap, so people would just always call me and be like, "Your son made a song, he rapping," and I'm telling you, I never really listened to none of his songs until I could truly say he made About You. And I got so many inboxes. My son was private. He never added me as a friend on Facebook. He never wanted nobody to know who I was. He kept it private. So I ended up calling him and I said, Javen, I heard some of your song. Accept my friend request so I can share it. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna take you off the next day. I said, why? He said, there gonna be enough time to share my song and I don't want you on my page, mama. So I shared his song. And I'm gonna say 4 days later, he ended up dead.
Are any of the brothers and sisters into music as well? Ness in that?
My other son, I heard he have a brother named Hussein.
See, I don't know if he's sleeping on himself. I just told him I said, hey, we gotta get the music out, man. He said he's making music but ain't dropping. I said, let me speak to him real quick. Let me pass it. How long you been doing music?
Like, I ain't never took it serious till after my cousin died. Cause like me, I play football. I'm big on sports.
There you go.
So like even when he was alive, like we asked to get his music videos and stuff. He be like, nah, y'all don't need to get in my music videos. Y'all don't need to be seen as that. And like even like him, he like football. Like him, you would think he was Dez Bryant, LeBron.
Yeah. 88.
Yeah. All American.
But like so like after he died, I said like I made a song probably like 3 weeks later about him on my phone or whatever. And then people were just telling me stuff. Then after that, I just started playing around with it. And after that, I started taking it serious. But I just never really dropped nothing like that.
Man, you should, man. Mo3 was in here. Then we had Mo3 brother in here, and his numbers have risen just based on the affiliation. So, he lives through you too. You know what I'm saying, as far as legacy. So I'm not telling you to do it. Definitely take football is the wave. Football is the wave. Don't get it twisted. Football is the wave. Shout out Dak Prescott. Football is the wave, but if ever you want to just let it off your chest,
I see what you're saying. I ain't never been to no real studio like that. Like I record in my homeboy garage, like on Studio One. So like even him listening to me, like even my partners, like even my cousin, I took him with me one day. And like this was recent, like last week, and when I said something, he was like, "What? Did he really just do that?" Like people would try to tell me they could hear Javian out of me, and like they'll name a few other rappers, like they'll be like, "Oh, you sound like CJ Casino" or stuff like that. So then I finally just stopped, and I was like, I want to switch it. I don't want to sound like nobody else. So then I made a song and I posted the trailer on Instagram. Like that's the only thing I ever posted. Like people just hear it. Other than that, it'll be like one of them making a dance video to it or listen to it in the car or something like that. Right. So then when I made the trailer to it, everybody was like, dang, when you start doing that, like when you start rapping like that, and the people texting me that like, let me find out you really got something. But I never just like pursued it in real life.
That's what's up. Man.
I want to touch on the channel, the gear y'all got on right now. Y'all all came in unified. Is this for sale? Is this somewhere that anybody can go and tap in? Let's talk about that. Where can we tap in and get the merchandise?
I started probably a few months after he passed. I took a t-shirt class because I know in most of his videos, he was always in his Channel 5 girl. And it shocked me. Me and my aunt was at the hospital, and a girl brought in one of his clothing line that he was making. It was called Ape Clothing Line.
Yeah.
And I just, after he passed, this is something that I continue to do. But now I'm working on it since I do have somebody behind me that's doing a lot of my new Glock where we'll be the patchworks now, the short sets. I will be dropping that. I think we're trying to push it for June to drop the new clothing line. It'll be called Glock Clothing.
Okay. Have you ever had someone from other news stations come to you and be like, hey, man, or either someone think you part of the news?
Me and my sister be out there on Harry Hines in the t-shirt store.
You work for CBS?
No, they have. Me and my twin be out at the t-shirt store, and they have asked us a bunch of times, are y'all part of the news station?
I'm sure.
We get it all the time.
I'm sure. Man, I want to ask this, for you can answer this, man, as far as your thought process on, with Channel 5, man. Again, when he came here, he was coming up. I ain't gonna lie, CJ brought him through, and then everything just went left. It seems with CJ, Bugatti, everyone else. Were you there in his ear doing all this? As far as what was your thoughts?
I just met him 4 days before he passed away.
Oh man!
And we made 3 songs back to back to back.
Oh, so y'all about to get it in?
Yeah, we're finna have a whole tape.
So, just even what that whole situation, not meeting him, not knowing who, not getting a chance to meet him. What were your thoughts on that? As far as just because again, the internet does so much to so many small things.
I don't really pay attention to. I do, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like what people say about other people. I want to get the. I want to see for myself why I'm not gonna like somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
it's just me.
Now I'm not gonna lie. This Dallas Fort Worth music stuff. It was predicated on a lot of going back and forth with other music artists. It just seems to be that's what it was to get the numbers. That's what did the views.
That's because that's what people want.
Yeah, it's like they feed into it. They have storylines and they like, oh, it's like Young and the Restless. It's like, and it's like it makes you sitting at home probably gonna chill that day. Be like, damn, let me pop off because I ain't know what I'm talking about.
Everybody on the internet.
Yeah, everybody on the internet. They waiting.
They're at home. They ain't doing nothing on the internet, on Instagram.
Let me ask you. You being an artist, how much do you think rap is kind of helping or hurting some of the youth? You know what I mean? Because it seems like people will start rapping and then a lot of BS will happen behind it.
I don't say it's rap. I say it's rappers. You know what I'm saying? Because solid is solid. If it can bend, break, or fold, it ain't solid. You feel me? Like you're not supposed to fall out. You gonna fall out with people, but don't fall out with. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna argue. You're supposed to. I'm not supposed to agree with 100% of everything. You know. But people don't understand it. They're not grown about the situation. That's all. And nowadays they want you. Oh, if that's his op, they gotta be my op too. That's how it gotta be. And people, they don't know how to tell people when they're wrong.
Hey, but being from the Fort Worth there, it was Bloods and Crips was going on back in the '90s to where you might not even know somebody. Because you were Blood and I'm a Crip. I don't know you. You might be my cousin, but we've got problems. So it's kind of been ongoing up until this point.
Hamster wheel.
Yep. This is for JJ Mama. Me and my friend, we was having this discussion today, and I wanted to know your opinion on this. Do you think that they should have a ban on guns, period?
Yes.
A ban?
Ban, like.
Should they ban guns?
Guns, like
yes.
Nobody should have access to it. And
Me, if you ask me, I think so. I think it needs to be more restriction and harder to buy a gun because right now the youth is dying at the hands of guns, and it's not. To me, it's black on black crime. And like a lot of the youths that dying right now, a lot of it is to do with the rap beef.
Yeah. What restrictions would you put on it if you could? What restrictions would you put on it?
And I feel like you need a homeowner. You have to show that you own that house at 35 and up. Everybody don't own a house, so everybody wouldn't be able to have access to a gun. Or you got a 9 to 5 that can be proved and run through government. Other than that, we're gonna keep losing the youth.
I like that because that motivates people to own a home.
Yes.
So I like
It
that.
make you want to level up.
Yeah, like
and
let
do
me get to that
something.
point where I own a home. You know, besides just for owning a home.
Because a lot of people, they not motivated. So this life, period, not just kids, adults, and everything, if you don't have nothing set or you looking forward to, you're not going to level up. So if they come out right now and say, new rules, you have to be a homeowner, you have to show that you have a job, you've been on your job for 2 years, that'll make a lot of people get out and do something. A lot of people probably come off government assistance because they want that gun, so you got to qualify by rules and regulations.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I got a lot I would love to say on that, but I don't want to take up my time.
You okay?
That's a whole podcast.
You 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Two.
So I do want to ask, as far as going back to J-Dub's legacy, as far as where do y'all feel his place is in DFW music and where he would be if he was still here present doing music?
I feel like he still won.
Yeah, you feel?
A legend for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still never won from the grave though. Like none of these rappers can get up.
Yeah, I don't think no one's really touching his name and legacy of what he did that quick. So definitely, I know he would have.
I gotta ask, what is your favorite song? What is your favorite J-Dub song? Yeah.
It ain't out.
Ooh. What? Hey, wait, does he got like a stack like Tupac, like a song that's coming out?
Yeah.
I probably got 20 songs in my phone. So,
Man, is there a plan as far as anybody selling J-Dub features and things like that? Are y'all handling his?
He was signed up, like I say, he was real smart. He had already signed himself up on United Masters.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, so they turned all proceeds over to me. And we do have another album that me and my twin and his dad, we waiting to set a date. But I'm really waiting for a few of his best friends that he come up with till about a year ago, got locked up. And it's called A2 Society. So I'll be dropping that one. And about the next 3 or 4 months, we'll be doing a big album release party, like the birthday party, but this is gonna be bigger.
So you just confirmed an 8-game tape?
A2 Society, stay safe.
A2 Society. We mess with that tough.
Now let's talk about the song, that 50 round chopper. Let's talk about those songs that you locked in with J-Dub, man. You got a song. You had him on some totally different vibe. You had him singing.
When she said he was in the blues, I heard. I was like, because he started singing. He was like, I want to do that, but I was scared. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the people to think I'm soft, because you know what I'm saying? Because I can sing.
Now I think we asked. Did we ask him in our interview? They should do an R&B tape?
Yeah, I
Like he should do R&B tape. And he's like, but hey, you know what I'm
he
saying?
got one in. So how was it hard to convince him to jump in that lane? Or because I know you pride yourself on versatility.
I showed him a song on that same level of mine, and he was like, bro, that's exactly how I want to do it. I want to do some music like that. I said, bet. Me and my producer, Louis Sachi, you know what I'm saying? We all just bumped heads, and man, all 3 of them, 3 days, back to back to back.
That's crazy.
Oh, we got a mixtape coming.
So y'all have a mixtape?
No, not with Pepper Shop. Bugatti Casino is dropping a mixtape, but it's ready to be dropped, but he's waiting for me to do something. So I'm thinking we'll push it to drop it next week, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to Grand Chopper, shout out to Bugatti. Keep Bugatti. 5 on the map.
Yeah, shout out to Bugatti.
Is Mellow Vision gonna shoot any visuals going forward for J-Dub?
Oh no.
I don't know. I ain't shot nothing with Mellow.
Mellow tap in. Mellow tap in.
So let's talk, because you have more than one song with J-Dub, correct?
3.
Okay, so let's talk, because we got the one song that's R&B, talking about something different. What are the other 2 songs like? And how did those songs come together?
Thugged Out.
Thugged Out.
That's my favorite song.
That was him telling me, like, man, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of everything. I'm just trying to take care of my people, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm thugged out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you have to hear the words, like he say. He felt like a slave. So he couldn't hang no more.
So, I mean, were y'all getting that as far as he was just really tired of all this roo-rah, back and forth roo-rah?
Well, I didn't hear it till after he passed, and I was like, oh yeah, my son, right? That's my favorite one. That's my favorite song.
Yeah.
Run through my mind.
Yeah. Definitely.
Definitely, because what 16-year-old
it's gonna talk about they don't want us to buy land.
Hey, well, no. Hand her the mic, 'cause this is important. This is important right here. This is important right here.
I was like, you know, like, what 16-year-old is gonna talk about how they want them to buy jewelry and cars and not land? He had to be thinking, you know what I'm saying, to put those bars in that song.
Yeah.
And that showed another side of him also, because at 16. Because that's what, once you get money, that's what you go buy. Jewelry and cars. You're not thinking about land. And that's what he said.
Definitely.
It's sad because, like, you know, you see these artists, and when they're young, you give them time to develop and they become a better person. You know what I'm saying? I could only see him leveling up, like you say, he already thinking land and doing for his people. You know what I mean? Give us one fact about J-Dub the general public probably don't know.
Give you what?
One fact about J-Dub the public probably doesn't know.
He ain't write his raps.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. They probably know he don't write. They probably know he go in there and spit this shit from.
Coming up with catchy bars that probably take people. Like, I listen to his songs and I ain't get some movie to after he passed. Like one time he say no TLE, but I'm the big Cinco. I ain't really get that time to listen to it. I'm like, you hear what he just said?
Yeah.
And it'll really take people time, like weeks, to come up with something like that. But he just get in the stool and just say it.
Natural talent.
Yeah.
A good fact, he had a good heart that people really don't know. You know, when you hear a lot of facts, it's always the bad side. But the one thing I would tell you, he had a heart, and he get his shirt off his back.
Like, he got a song called Pain. Like, he got a song called Pain. Like, he expressed himself like he don't want to feel pain no more. But, like, nobody heard it because it's unreleased. Like, they ain't see the death side of him. They always see the, the music side of him. They ain't see the side in that song he's expressing himself.
That's real.
And I got a brother right today, you know, he was like, I don't know that boy they talking about. I don't know him. He say, and then we say, well, you going when we have stuff? He don't go. He was like, I want to remember the JV that says, yes, sir, and no, sir, Uncle Ray this, Uncle Ray that, yes, sir, Uncle Ray, no, sir, Uncle Ray. All this other stuff, he won't buy into it and stuff because that's J-Dub and all that he don't know. That's Javian to him. Yeah, and he was so respectful to us. It was always yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. And he had a killer smile.
Real.
Woo, that baby had a smile.
When we you know, it's funny because, you know, everybody they come in here, you know, they see the lights and they be like, man, I'm gonna act hard, but we was able to get that laugh out of them, you know, just
Hey, I ain't gonna cap. If you was around J-Dub before he blew, like when we growing up with me and my brother and them, I remember he used to come over all the time on the weekends type stuff, and he'll be like, play a beat. And and he'll just be freestyling and rapping. And we always used to laugh at him before because we didn't know he really gonna be a rapper. We'd be like, boy, you ain't gonna be no rapper. And he's like, you gonna see type stuff. So like, I don't know. Like, I miss him every day.
What was his favorite video game?
Video game?
Yeah, what'd you say?
Madden. He like football. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I remember. I ain't gonna lie to you. I remember one time we had we was finna play Easter Hills. I had went to Southwest, and he was younger than me, so we went to the game, and he was already into the street stuff and stuff, but he was still trying to play football. And I remember one game I seen him. I was like, he had an ankle monitor on over his sock, and I was like, boy, you playing with that thing on? He talking about, I don't care. And he throwing up the X. He's still playing.
Is he serious about it?
Yeah.
He played football with an ankle monitor.
Man, he's serious about it. So, Black, what would you say, if he said, Mama, cook me something, what was one of his favorite meals from you that you might whoop up for him?
My Dorito casserole.
Oh, man. You should have brought something with you. You should have brought something with you.
You making that? Like the game through there.
Real. And how was he doing like holidays and times like that, as far as, Thanksgiving, Christmases?
Holidays was, we always have had nice big holidays, but his favorite little one was Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
He go with his godmama. Since Black Friday started, I'm talking about this just the kid. Some kids don't like going Black Friday. He gonna have 2-3 boogies.
Yeah.
He gonna go get 2-3 boogies with 2 hands. He gonna make sure he had Black Friday. He gonna stand in line for you. He gonna stand in line for her. He gonna go stand in line for my mama. Go send a line for my sister. He was just, like I say, he was a loving kid.
Nah, that's very dope. Did he ever tell you as far as what his personal dreams and aspirations were? Like as far as beyond playing, of course everybody want to play, football. But just, as
He
you
really
stated,
wanted to be an
speaking of buying
architect.
land and buying,
Yes.
Like for houses or?
His 5th grade teacher discovered that when in math, he was like, he bad with numbers.
Man.
He bad with this. And he used to always say, if I don't make it to the NFL, I'm gonna fall back on being an architect. I wanna construct buildings and all that. He always have said this since he was about in the 4th grade.
Wow, that's dope. So that's something.
Oh yeah, he's want to take pictures. He's
That's
on
something they may
photography.
not know for real. What message would any of y'all have for like the young kids that are out here, looking at rap, looking at whatever they're doing? What message would y'all have as far as for J-Dub's story that y'all would like to get across?
The message I have is this: like I say, Javen used to think I was hard on him. He used to think I was strict as parent. I used to always tell Javen, I just followed my mama's footsteps. My mama raised us. We couldn't do what we wanted to do. We come up in a nice home, loving parents. Like I said, we got whoopings, and it didn't kill us. Nowadays, you whoop these kids, and they want to call 911. So, I can't truly say. A lot of parents come to me like, Javen had ran away one time, and every police, my sister is my witness gang unit, it's like, we came like this just due to, she said, I never seen a parent get out here in the middle of Stop 6 Day and look for their kid. And I had cars around the whole, police around the whole park. I showed her a picture, showed this how he looked. She was like, parents don't even do this when their kids run around. I said, let me tell you something. I don't condone my kids sleeping in somebody else's house when they got a home they can sleep in. If you can't abide by my rules, you go abide by the white folks' rules. I'd rather see you sleep in juvenile than sleep in somebody else's house. And to me, parents that let other kids run away and stay there, I have never condoned in that. Because to me, you're just indulging in a disrespectful child. So if this child can't listen to me as being his mother, then he won't have no respect for nobody. One thing Miney can say, Javen was a real respectful kid. But he used to just run away. But anybody in here tell you, I never gave up on my child. So, I hear a lot of neglect, and it don't bother me. Because at the end of the day, I know what I was. And I know I did my part. So at the end of the day, a lot of stuff that people say when he was in the street, well, one thing Javen would tell you, and he would tell it to anybody he met, I can't do this at my mama's house. So I'd rather stay in the streets. And he would tell me, I'm not gonna bring my problems to my mama's house, because if something happened to my mama, he'll tell anybody I'm gonna be in a penitentiary for murder. He would tell me that I'm gonna kill everything moving. So you got some parents that they kids friends, and you sit up here and let your kids do this and that just so they could be at home, but still, when your kid is at home bringing trouble in your home, it get worse. So Javen was the type that he knew that he couldn't do what he did in the streets, he couldn't do at home. But Javen will come back home, he'll be there, and then he'll just get mad. So my advice to any kids, if you got a mother, father, auntie, uncle, Javen have a support system. He has a village. So we was all here to support him. You got me? Yeah, he got ass whoopers. I whoop ass in my house.
What my mama said about being strict, she wasn't being strict, she just wanted the best for all of her kids.
Amen.
And I understand that because my mama not like no other mother that's gonna let her kids go out there in the streets and wonder if they gonna come back home. But my mama just wanted the best for us, and my brother chose his own path. And when he started rapping, I knew his career was gonna go up, and I was proud for him, and I support him through everything.
And what mama used to always tell y'all, I'd rather see you what?
She'd rather see us in jail than in the casket.
Amen.
Favi, So that's why I say I don't, people can look on the outside and judge me. If you don't know my inside and my story, you don't know me, your talk don't bother me. Because I know one thing too for sure, I did my part.
Man, here's the realest thing though. Anybody trying to judge a person for how they raise their children and not without actually coming into their situation and seeing what that person is trying to do for their children, they have no reason to speak because it's so hard out here for us all, to raise a responsible adult. Nobody wrote a book on this, We just doing what was done before us, and we just trying it as we go, And I can see through your other son that you wasn't playing because I didn't even talk like that when I don't know how old you are.
He's 10.
Yeah, at 10, I was I couldn't form a sentence like that.
Yeah. So, even at the wake, he asked all J-Dub friends if they don't do nothing else to change for J-Dub. And, like I said, you can raise your child right, but when they get out into the world, all you can do is pray.
Right.
And just hope that they take that. Like I said, a lot of kids I know was raised right, but now they doing 40, 50 years, and you can't blame the parents. Because we all go out and make our own choices in life.
Amen. Nobody. Y'all got any shout outs?
And you got kids having kids, and you got kids raising kids. They never had a chance to be a kid themselves because they having babies. And that is, I just look around and I was like, you never even had got a chance to be a kid. You had a baby at 12, 13 years old. Your whole life done flipped. And when you see that person that had that baby at that age take a wrong turn, I don't even know what to do to pull them back in.
Yeah, right.
No. At 12 having a baby, I couldn't have did it. My daddy was chasing boys with shotguns. He told my boyfriend to be married when I'm grown. He had that gun, he say, and he told my Henry, you see these bullets? He say, one of them is for you.
That's real. And real quick, does anybody else have any message that they want to give to either the youth or just, again, the case is still open, and, things like that. Any other message y'all want to give as far as just
to the youth?
Yeah, just to the younger generation.
Like with me being I just turned 18. Like my thing is you don't gotta fit in with everybody else. Like people people look at me as JV and cousin, and then they'll hear me speak and hear what I want to do, but they're not knowing that's the same thing he wanted to do in life too. Yeah. But like my thing, don't give up on sports. If you want to do something, do it. Like me, all right, I'm from Fort Worth, but my goal is not to I don't go around saying I'm hood or claiming where I'm from. My goal is I want to get out. The goal not to stay in. I want to get out and be able to do something. So I say don't try to fit in. Be yourself. Do something yourself. Create your own path.
Amen. Amen. Stay off the internet. Log off of Instagram.
It's good stuff on the internet.
Get back to rapping and stop beefing. You know what I'm saying? Beef is getting bigger than hip hop now. You feel
it is. It's too much. We losing rappers every week.
Yeah.
It's because beef the trending topic.
Yeah, and I get a lot of people reach out to me from different states. It shocks me. I just was with my aunt up here on the steps, and where was that guy from? Mississippi? Yeah, and I get Vegas, California. I have shipped clothes to Columbia, Ohio. I get a lot of people who have reached out to me. A lot have wanted to do interviews.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm doing this because of him, and I'm just okay, if he trusts them, I can trust him. I always told myself I would never want to do no interviews because I see so many bloggers and I see how they go over here with one rap group, then come over here to the next rap group and say, well, such and such this way said this. I can't do it because I'm still not over. I'm still going through what I'm going through. And I don't think I'll never get over it, but I don't want to be that person that be a blogger interview me and take what I have said or turn it I don't want to do. I really wasn't gonna do this.
We definitely thank you for even trusting us to enough to respect your story and respect your son. And again, we had love for him. As quick as we met him, we had none but love for J-Dub. And again, to see what's going on, we definitely wanted your story to get across. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna link you up with Lil Snoop's mama. She's out here in Dallas and she's making moves for people. Lil Snoop is a rapper who was with Meek Mill. Yeah, but I'm gonna link you up with her mama because she's doing something right now for mothers like you who have lost their sons to gun violence and things like that. So I'm gonna link you up with that after we finish up. But thank you for trusting our story for real.
And I got one more thing. Parents. I don't care how you dress your kids, how good you think your kids. I'm just saying, get life insurance. It's the most important thing to have. I speak it because I see it every day. We GoFundMe accounts.
The one thing I hate to see that is, and not saying I hate to see it because it's understandable, but when I see like a GoFundMe and they explain the story like, man, we just didn't have life insurance. I'm like, man, it's such a simple thing if you could just get it early on. So if you're a young parent, like you said, you don't know if anything, get life insurance. It's very cheap early on. It means the world when things do go left. You can you don't have to pray so much to where, of course, you pray for your children, but with if something goes left, you're not so broken. It does help you pick up pieces.
It eases your mind.
It eases your mind because I've had too many situations where there's been none there, and things get bad in the family when nothing's there because now we're snatching and now we're taking and
people get mad when you don't help. Exactly. But when you go to somebody's page, it's the first thing you'll say, oh, he Jordan down. You go through his picture, you be like a GoFundMe account. So like I say, it really eased me, but I tell any parent to please get life insurance. Like I said, a lot of people want, like I say, one thing I will tell you, my son passed on the 25th. A lot of rumors I heard, they always say, oh, they have insurance, none of that. My son passed on the 25th. His godmother and me decided to donate his organs, so he had to stay in the hospital 5 days. The Friday, he left to go down. His body was on hold. And I tell everybody, I shouldn't have to explain this to nobody, but it shocked them when they coming to the wake and coming to the funeral. He had two caskets, 2 changes. People said they never seen the cast I got. It's always upstate the way I had his cast customized. And I could have went and acted the food and let everybody know. GoFundMe, no victim of crime didn't pay for that. He just had a smart mama, and I have smart parents that always taught us. If and it's sad, you work more dead than alive. But I tell anybody, get life insurance. I don't care if you don't do nothing else. If it's a $10,000 policy, it'll ease stress. Yeah, we donated. We did his organs. That's why it took him so long to get buried.
Y'all got any shout outs?
Shout out Bugatti. Free DBs.
Listen, I got a few shout outs. Everybody here, they family. My mom didn't make it today. My mom and dad, shout out to them.
Shout out my daddy. His daddy,
JJ. I want to shout out to
his other brother, Hussein.
Great aunts who raised him. Shirley, she not in the business. Shirley Dimple. Like I said again, I'm a shout out to Bugatti Casino. Shout out Bugatti. He wanted to keep it real with me. Let me tell you this, I'm going to do these shout outs. My son was a youngster and he hung with guys like 30-something. Shout out to my cousin Lil Dunny. Shout out to John Reed. Shout out to Bingo, because they make sure I don't have to ask. When you meet genuine people, they make sure we good.
Right.
I want to shout out. I want to say free 50.
Free Chris.
Free Chris.
Free 21 shot. Shout out D Casino.
Free Key.
Free Dad. Shout out to Dad.
Shout out there.
50 on his way home.
Free Almighty, Big A.
Yeah, Almighty, he Big A.
Free the members.
Almighty, he gone? I thought he was out.
I just shout out whoever fuck.
He said Almighty gone. But Chopper Stick, he get the shout out. He check on him.
Long live Draco.
Man, long live J-Dub, man. We thank y'all so much for coming and giving us this opportunity to honor J-Dub in this special way. We wouldn't have had it any other way, and we just thank y'all so much for making us a part of this. He was a part of the Real Life family, and now y'all are too. Y'all are Real Life Street Stars.